a good experience for anyone who maybe hasn't made their way to the Mall of America and they've been hoping to, and they're from Chicago or something like that. A cool option they offered this year. And Sarah, it was a freezing weekend for those folks to be flying from Chicago to Minneapolis. Very cold for them.
Absolutely. They all looked like they were happy, though. They didn't seem like they were too cold. It almost gave me the illusion like, oh yeah, this weekend was fine. No, it was freezing. Temperatures dangerously cold. So happy to see the smiles. Definitely warming some hearts there and heading to the Mall of America. Now we're actually pretty warm. Mother Nature just warming us up naturally as we've come into the work week. Things are looking good on Highway 52. Not much to note. There are, of course, plenty of wet spots, though. There was a lot of melting that took place today, a lot of ice on sidewalks, not to mention some snowfall coming back into the ground, getting onto the roadways. I'm not too worried about refreezing tonight. However, there is a chance, especially if that water does go into areas that are still on the more frozen side. That's because temperatures will be slipping back below the freezing point as we do get later into the night. Before that, though, temperatures right now, totally awesome. 40 degrees in Northwood, still 42 in Albert Lea. Some of these numbers have actually gone up from just an hour ago. Rochester was at 35, now sitting at 36. Same with Mason City at 37, now 38. I love to say it. Those winds from the south, they are nice. They do bring back that warmth. They do cause this as well. Things feeling a little cooler when you get into those breezes. So it may say 36 in Rochester, but it feels like 27. It may say 38 in Mason City, but it feels like 29. That's on any exposed skin like this. You still have to bundle up. You still have to wear the coat if you're going out and about, but maybe you don't necessarily need the hat for too much longer. You definitely don't need the scarf too long. However, temperatures, as mentioned, will eventually start to fall. All right, moving over to satellite and radar, the clouds, they have come through, showing that there is a little more moisture here in the upper Midwest. They're about to clear out just for a tiny bit. That will be enough to drop temperatures, though, but not too quickly, because a few more clouds will join back in. You can see what's happening a little further off to the west. A little bit of rain coming down. We do see the potential for a few sprinkles. However, most of that will avoid us. Futurecast brings in that tiny little chance. See the light green here, light pinks, light blues, indicating that maybe a wintry mix. What this is really picking up on is a little higher up in the atmosphere, showing, yes, it's a little cooler. Temperatures are expected to drop, especially when we get those northern winds back. But the chances for any of this actually hitting the ground, pretty minuscule. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward all the way to what's changing next. We are now at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. It's going to be a bit of a different story as we come around this time tomorrow, because we'll be keeping an eye on our next Clipper system. Winds increasing, bringing a rain wintry mix as we come into the night and then into our Thursday as temperatures drop quickly, bring us snow chances and keep those winds strong. Another way of looking at it, the highest chances for that precipitation come Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. So we're talking the overnight. And the next 7 days show the winds, but keep in mind we also have snow chances as we go through our Thursday. Cami, temperatures will be falling back below freezing, but hey, not below the 0 mark. That's some good news before we warm up into next week.